Have you ever reached the end of the day feeling completely drained without knowing why? Have you ever felt overwhelmed by emotions that don't seem to belong to you? Perhaps you've had a conversation with a friend who shared a deeply emotional story, and while they felt relieved afterward, you felt super exhausted. Or have you ever been around people who criticize and gossip, and despite your best effort, their negative energy started to impact your mood? This happens when we absorb other people's energy. We unconsciously match their emotional states, allowing their energy to influence our own. And the key to avoiding this is learning how to remain grounded in your own energy and emotional space. So in this video, I'm going to give you some mindset, energy tools, and practices that you can implement in your life to stop absorbing others people's energy and stay centered and grounded in your own space. Hi, my name is Noemi, and I help people create a life they fall in love with every day by tapping into their intuition, personal power, and higher self. If this is something that resonates with you, hit the subscribe button. So for the past few years, I've tried many things to stop absorbing other people's energy. And as I progressed in my spiritual and self-development journey, I became very sensitive to energies in general. A friend will share a sad story with me and I will immediately feel a tightness in my throat or a pain in my stomach. Or sometimes I will start crying for no reason. And when I began coaching and helping people release emotions, I was absorbing everything at first. And this was leaving me completely drained at the end of the day. And this is how I started to think that I had to protect my energy so I wouldn't be as much impacted. The thing is that what I loved doing the most, which is helping people, became a source of worry as I was constantly focused on protecting my energy. And approaching my work from this mindset, from this protective mindset, was not ideal. So I decided to shift my focus from protection to elevation. So most people will tell you that you have to protect yourself so you don't absorb other people's energy. My point of view is focus on elevation rather than protection, because protection comes from a place of fear and survival. I gotta protect myself so I don't absorb. Whereas elevation comes from a place of growth and expansion. Elevating your energy means you're actively raising your vibration and attracting higher frequencies into your life. It's about stepping into your power, not shrinking away in self-defense. And when you elevate, you naturally rise above the negativity and low vibrations. You consciously unmatch from people's frequency. And when we focus on elevating our vibration, it's important to consider everything we consume, not just food. And this includes what we listen to, what we watch, the people we spend time with, anything that influences our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. Every aspect of our environment and lifestyle can either uplift or lower our energy. So it's essential to be mindful of these influences to maintain a higher state of being. And from my perspective, it's perfectly okay to, wanting to feel safe, but you should not become obsessed with protecting yourself at all costs. Doing so can lead to manifesting what you don't want and may cause you to live in fear and isolation. So if wearing a cross, carrying a black stone, a black crystal helps you feel safe, that's fine. But do it with the mindset of elevating and maintaining your energy, because this is how you become the true master of your life and gain control over what you allow into your energetic field. Which brings me to the topic of responsibility. Stop taking responsibility for other people's emotions. I realized that when people came to me for help, my desire to support them led me to unconsciously take on their emotions and feel responsible for their issues. So it's important to be aware if you're so focused on helping someone that you start absorbing their emotions on a subconscious level. And by acknowledging this, you can still support others while implementing boundaries for your own mental and emotional well-being. So some self-assessment questions that can help clarify whether you're taking responsibility for other people's emotions are: am I feeling physically or emotionally drained after interacting with this person? Do I find myself constantly worrying about this person's problems even when I'm not with them? Do I feel responsible for this person's happiness or outcomes? Am I feeling guilty or anxious if I can help someone as much as they need? Do I find myself altering my plans or routines to accommodate their needs or emotions? If you realize that you are taking responsibility for other people's emotions, set clear and healthy boundaries with yourself and others. Setting boundaries doesn't mean that you care less. It's a way to ensure you're not overwhelmed by problems that are not yours to solve. You can be there for someone without taking on their emotional burdens. Another way to stop absorbing people's energy is to change your station frequency. When we absorb other people's energy, we basically match the other person's frequency. We attune to their emotional and energetic states. Think about the radio. You're changing the station and you're tuning into each frequency so you're able to listen to each station. Well, the same happens when you interact with others, especially when it comes to deep or meaningful conversation. We often subconsciously match the emotional frequency to understand and empathize with other people. So a great way to stay grounded in your own energy is to hold a higher vision for them and tune into it. So in a sense, you're changing the station and creating another reality. For example, if a friend is very sad and share with me a sad story, instead of matching my friend's sadness or frustration or anxiety and feeling drained, I'm going to hold the vision of her in my mind being resilient and strong. It's like you're switching to a more positive, empowered station while you're holding space for your friend. So if some people start, for example, to criticize others next to me, I'm going to hold the vision of them being compassionate and loving in my mind. So I don't match their emotional state and negativity. I'm creating another possibility in my mind. Even though I'm here and present with them, I'm tuning into another frequency, another reality by holding the vision. And so it helps you to stay grounded in your own energy and not being impacted. And you can use a similar approach with yourself. If you start to feel angry or frustrated, visualize the highest version of yourself and tune into that positive frequency. Embrace the feelings of love and acceptance to help shift your emotional state and maintain balance. So it's a practice, but with time, this is going to help you feel more grounded. Something else very important to consider is to check in with your emotional needs. We often crave acceptance and belonging so much that we start adopting other people's personas just to meet those needs. For example, I once worked at a company where my colleagues spent every day criticizing the CEO. The constant negativity created a very toxic environment. And I felt tempted to join in on the criticism because I wanted to fit in and feel like I belonged. And I was afraid that if I didn't participate and criticize with my colleague, I will be excluded from the group. But I decided to not do it because it just didn't feel right with me. And a few months later, my colleagues ended up being fired. And this experience shows how we can sometimes take on attitudes or emotions that are not really ours just to fulfill needs like belonging, love, or self-esteem. And by becoming aware of your own emotional needs and understanding how they influence your behavior, you can regain control and make more empowered choices. When you recognize the emotional drivers behind your actions, you can choose how to respond in a way that aligns with your true self. So I want to share with you a tool that I use every day called Ground Release Align. So when we absorb other people's emotion, energy, there is a disconnection that can occur within ourselves. We begin to lose touch with our emotional states, and this creates a disconnection from our authentic feelings, which leaves us feeling ungrounded. And when we are not fully present in our bodies, our minds can become overreactive, trying to process or make sense of all the emotions we are picking up from others. And this often leads to overthinking about things that may not be even ours to worry about. And our natural energy field may become flooded, leading to a sense of being scattered or unfocused. So to stay grounded and centered in your own energy, you can use this tool that I call Ground Release Align. This tool is going to help you ground your energy, clear away any foreign energy, and call back the energy you've been giving away throughout your day by thinking about the past, the future, or your to-do list. So you can use my meditation practice, including this tool just here. You can use whenever you feel tired, anxious, or stressed, whenever you need more energy, stability, and support. Other ways to help you ground include being fully connected to the present moment, and you can do this through your 5 senses by taking note of what you hear, what you see, what you feel, and what you smell. Walking barefoot is also a great practice to release unwanted energies. And for more information on this, I really invite you to watch the movie Earthing on YouTube. Finally, own your aura space. We each have an energetic aura surrounding our body, which reflects not only our physical states, but also our emotional, mental, and spiritual conditions. And this aura extends about an arm length away from our body. And this encompasses a 3-dimensional space around us, including above, below, and all around. And if we don't consciously own and maintain this personal space, we can become vulnerable to foreign energy entering it. And this can lead to us absorbing unwanted or negative energy from others. And this can impact our well-being and emotional balance. So to own your aura space, start by becoming aware of its boundaries. Imagine your aura as a vibrant, energetic field that you are in control of. Picture it expanding and contracting as needed, but always staying intact. Set an intention every morning or whenever you feel it's necessary, allowing only positive energies into your space. And remind yourself that you have the power to decide what or who enters your energetic field.